name is Roy Elterman. I'm a retired pediatric neurologist. I was in private practice for 30 years in Dallas, Texas, and I am now retired from clinical practice and acting as president of the Pediatric Epilepsy Research Foundation.
Okay, I'm Don Shields. I'm a retired professor of child neurology at UCLA, and I'm vice president of the Pediatric Epilepsy Research Foundation.
In 1994, Don and I were at a board examination. We were examiners, and we had the same hour off. During that hour, we discussed the treatment of infantile spasms and some work that was being done in Europe indicating efficacy of a drug called vigabatrin. From that discussion, Don and I developed a protocol to, in fact, bring the drug or make the drug available to children in the United States at participating centers. Through many trials and tribulations and meetings with the FDA, our protocol was finally approved. And about 1996, we started this study of using vigabatrin for the treatment of infantile spasms. It was really done initially solely for the purpose of providing this drug to children in the United States that suffered from infantile spasms while the drug was going through the FDA approval process. Unfortunately, the company that was sponsoring the drug decided not to bring the drug to market, and we needed to close our study about 2000 or 2001. We had treated some 250 patients, and we felt that that data, unfortunately, would be packed away and never used again. However, a small niche pharmaceutical company in Chicago decided that they wanted to acquire the drug from the previous sponsor and needed our data to get approval for this drug for the treatment of infantile spasms. As a result of that, Don and I were approached by the company that was interested in acquiring the drug, Ovation Pharmaceutical, and they suggested that in return for the data, they would like to provide a royalty for a not-for-profit foundation to fund research in pediatric neurology. Don and I thought this was just incredibly kind, and as a result, we formed the Pediatric Epilepsy Research Foundation. We felt this represented the highest use of the money from our royalty, and subsequently PERF was developed and has now funded a number of pediatric neurologic projects.
As Roy clearly indicated, that we did this study only to help our patients and other patients with infantile spasms. There was no intention that anything like the Pediatric Epilepsy Research Foundation would result from the study that we did. So we felt it was just an amazing thing that this happened. This unintended consequence has been so important. Most of the time, unintended consequences are bad, but this time an unintended consequence was remarkably good.